Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to Tuesday's literacy lesson, and we're going to be continuing writing our new version of our innovative story, The Storm Mermaid. Now, you're going to need all those things that you had with you yesterday, so your story maps, your story mountains, and of course you need the bit of your writing that you did yesterday so that we can continue it again today. So you all know what happens here at the beginning of our literacy lesson. So our purpose is to write a story about how to protect other people. We're doing that for all of the children in Key Stage 1. We're going to make sure we include capital letters, finger spaces, full stops, question marks, exclamation marks, commas in lists, apostrophes for possession, and apostrophes for omission. Okay, so now I'm throwing these spellings into every literacy lesson because I just thought that they were a good bit of fun really for you to have a go at doing. So if you remember, yesterday I explained about pyramid writing, so it's just a different way of learning your spellings. It just helps to kind of write them in a different way so that your hand starts to remember them when you want to spell them. So it's exactly the same words that you had yesterday. I can remove these little blue screens so that you can see the pyramid. So it's just growing the word as you write it. And then I'm going to cover them back up, and you can pause the video and have a go at spelling them from memory. If you are confident with spelling these words, why don't you pause the video and challenge yourselves to write a sentence using them? Okay, let's hide them all again. And you might want to turn the screen off, and I'll just read the words for you and you can have a go at spelling them. So the first word is door, then we've got floor, and we've got pour. They've all got the same spelling pattern in them. We've got that juicy conjunction because, and then the word from our story, mermaid. Okay, so I know this is exactly what we did yesterday, but this is exactly the process that we would go through to write this story if we were all in school together. So we're going to practice orally retelling it so that we've got that story stuck in our heads and we know what comes next really confidently. So I'm going to retell it. You can join in with me at home, or you might want to pause the video when I finish and have a go at retelling it yourself using your own actions. So it's called The Storm Mermaid. Noi lived with his dad and 6 cats by the sea. Every day, Noi's dad left early for a long day's work on his fishing boat. He wouldn't be home until it was dark. One night, a great storm raged around their house. In the morning, Noi went down to the beach to see what had been left behind. As he walked closer to the shore, he spotted something in the distance. As he got closer, Noi could not believe his eyes. It was a little mermaid, washed up on the sand. Noi wondered what he should do. He knew that it was not good for a mermaid to be out of the water. I must be quick, he thought. Noi did everything he could to make the mermaid feel at home. He told her stories about life on the island. Noi sang her cheerful sea shanties. The mermaid was an excellent listener. The night was drawing in and it was growing dark. Noi was worried that his dad would be angry about having a mermaid in the bath. Somehow, Noi kept his secret safe all evening. He even managed to sneak some salty seaweed for his mermaid. Noi carefully combed her long, shimmering hair, but he knew it couldn't last. Noi's dad wasn't angry. He hadn't noticed that Noi was feeling lonely. But he said they must take the mermaid back to the sea where she belonged. He knew it was the right thing to do, but it was hard to say goodbye. He was glad that his dad was there with him. Noi often thought about the storm mermaid. He hoped that one day soon he would see his friend again. So if you'd like to have a go at just orally retelling the story, pause now and have a go at doing that. Okay, so let's move on. So now we're going to return back to our story mountain. Yesterday you wrote the introduction and the build-up, and today we're going to be thinking about the problem in our story. So the problem is that after a storm, Noi finds the mermaid washed up on the beach, and he takes her home and keeps her in the bath. Okay. So I've made a list of all the things you're going to need again, just like we did the other day. A story mountain, story map, and those innovative ideas that you had for how to look after the mermaid. Okay, so now I have got our model text for you here. So I'm going to have a go at reading it, and you might notice that I have included some extra parts, so I will talk about those as we get to them. So it goes like this. One night, a great storm had raged around their house. In the morning, Noi went down to the beach to see what had been left behind. As he walked along the shore, he spotted something in the distance. As he got closer, Noi could not believe his eyes. It was a little mermaid washed up on the sand. Now, I thought we can make that story even better by adding an adjective to describe the sand. So I went for the adjective golden. That's why I wrote it in blue, so you'd notice. And then I thought, well, hang on a minute. When we were planning our stories the other week and innovating on characters, we described that mermaid. So should we put some of those juicy ENPs that we wrote into our piece of writing? So I've written she had long flowing brown hair, blue twinkly eyes, and a colourful shimmering tail. And then we've got Noi wondered what he should do. He knew that it wasn't good for a mermaid to be out of the water. I must be quick, he thought. Now, if you notice, if you check each sentence, it starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. You'll also notice in here that we have got words written, common words written in the past tense, and you know they're in the past tense because they have got the ed suffix at the end of them. And we did an awful lot of work about applying that suffix when we had our bubble closure. So just let me highlight some of them for you. Raged, walked, spotted, and washed, and wondered. Okay. So here's the page for you to pause and have a go now at writing the next part of the story. So you're going to be writing the problem. I've included your success criteria because that's what you need to make sure you are including in your writing. You might want to go back to the word maps that we had last week, yesterday, to help you about those words that you might need to spell, which are in the storm whale story, but we added in the mermaid. So if I go back all the way through the flip charts, I should be able to find that for you. So that's the word map that might help you. So if I copy that again and I can add it onto the page where we are writing today. So I'll pop it there. Now, I would always make sure, if we are writing at school, if we're going to continue our story over a few days, that I'd put the short dates in the margin, just so that we know how far you got in one day of writing. Okay, so this is a point to pause the video and have a go at writing the next part of your story. Keep all of your success criteria to think about as you're writing. And yeah, have a really good time in writing the next bit. You might want to elaborate the story a little bit more, add some more EMPs in there, like we did in this bit of writing here. So just have a really good go at writing that part, and we're really looking forward to seeing your work on Dojo and sharing it with you, sharing it with us. Take care.